It's always a pleasure to be in this high school. This is my second visit, both for me and Shushmita, and it's amazing how much progress has been made. And sometimes when I come to places like this, I actually get a little inferiority complex as to whether we have done an equally good job. I know you rather have fun than listen to somebody like me, so I'll try to make it as painless as possible, okay, and quick and short interaction. How many of you are children of teachers? Raise your hand. Okay, quite a lot. Very nice. And how many of you, your parent is a doctor? Okay, an engineer? Okay. So where am I going with this question? I'm basically drawing your attention to the fact that you are children of professionals. Most of you are children of professionals. I think most of you would be interested to be a professional in your life as you grow up. Somebody wants to be an IT engineer, somebody wants to be a pilot, somebody wants to be a theater artist, somebody wants to be a musician, somebody wants to be yet something else. But basically most of you would lead the life of a professional for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years of your life. So the conversation I want to have with you is, what does it take to be a professional? I'm sure you never had that conversation with your parents, but go ahead and have that conversation when you're back. Who would we call a professional? Is somebody who is professionally qualified a professional, or does it take more to be a professional? To tell you this, this idea, I will actually tell you a story first. And the story is the story of an 8-year-old boy, little boy, in Karnataka, whose mother was an illiterate woman in a Karnataka village, and she fell out with the villagers and her own family. They persecuted her, so she in anger left her village with this 8-year-old boy, whose name was Mahadeva. So Mahadeva came with his mother to the streets of Bangalore, and mother and son lived on the streets. The mother worked, fed the little boy, and he didn't know, he had never seen a big city before. But as children, you know, you all get used to changes very quickly. So as he was getting used to the new life of living by the street and just waiting for every day to take its own shape, his mother became very unwell. When his mother became very unwell, somebody brought the mother to the government hospital. And little Mahadeva, where will he go? He also carried on with the mother to the hospital. The mother was admitted in the hospital. What does a child do there? It's a government hospital, not some fancy hospital. So Mahadeva started playing on the street with other urchins, same age as his. And he forgot everything, because when you play, you forget everything else, right? So where he was sleeping, he forgot. Who was feeding him, he didn't notice. He played, he slept, he got up and played. And in the course of this, he lost track of time. After 3 days, somebody came and said, "Where were you all this time? Your mother is dead." Mahadeva didn't know what's death. So not only the mother had died, but because she knew no one and no one knew who she was classified as what legally we say an unclaimed dead body. So the authorities wait for 3 days, which is what the law requires, and then the dead body is disposed of. So when Mahadeva came to see his mother, not only she had passed away, but the dead body had been disposed of. So what does he do? All the poor patients, and government hospital means poor patient, each one donated 50 paisa, 25 paisa from their own meager amount of money, because the poor give more than the rich give actually. And they pooled money so that Mahadeva could go back to the village. The 8-year-old boy said, I'm not going anywhere. I'll not go back to the village. So he stayed there. An old man who used to run errands in the hospital, who had no one, told Mahadeva, look, I have nobody, you have nobody, come and stay with me. So he became apprentice to this old man whose job was to bring medicines for the patients or bring milk for the patients, and they would all give him a little bit of money here and there. So the hospital became his home, and he grew up to be a fine young man one day doing these errands. The police called him and said, hey, you know what, there is an unclaimed dead body which has done its 3 days. Here is 200 rupees, go bury this dead body. So his job was to hire a horse-drawn carriage, put the dead body in the carriage, bring a piece of cloth, wrap it, and then bury it. So that was his initiation into the life of being a professional as the undertaker to unclaimed dead bodies of the city of Bangalore. Till date, he has buried 42,000 dead bodies. That's not a big number, by the way. If you look at the big cities and people die on road accidents, people are abandoned, people do not know who they are, so it's not a big number over a lifetime. Now, when he did the first job so well, he became the go-to man for the police. Every time the police needed a dead body to be buried, they would call him. 2 o'clock in the night, in the downpour, in the hot sun, he would turn up. And then he became so much in demand that other hospitals wanted his service. So he got a horse and a horse-drawn carriage because he couldn't every time get the tanga whenever he needed it. And he carried on this work. One day the horse died. When the horse died, people were so impressed with his dedication and his affection for his work, more than dedication, his affection for his work, that little shopkeepers pulled in money and bought him an auto rickshaw. So now he has got a hearse, and he put his dead horse's logo on the auto rickshaw and carried on. The local petrol pump owners don't charge him money. Each time he returns with an empty tank, they fill up the tank and off he is to go. One day, his benefactor, the old man who had actually raised him, died. That is the only day Mahadeva cried, because it was a great sense of loss for him, and he took his mentor, his benefactor, dug a grave of 6 feet and lowered him and put a garland, and then it occurred to him that everybody should get a garland. Even if people do not know who you are, where you came from, and you are abandoned, you are an unclaimed dead body, why should I have a garland only for my benefactor? So as he prayed, from that point, whoever is the dead body, Mahadeva doesn't know who this person is. Mahadeva doesn't know the circumstances. Mahadeva has no idea about their caste, creed, religion. But everyone comes to Mahadeva, wraps him in a newly acquired cloth, brings a garland, without anybody watching, goes, digs 6 feet down under, and gives a decent burial to this person. In my mind, Mahadeva is a great professional, because he can do 3 things which most professionals cannot do. And this is what I want to leave behind with you. To be a true professional like Mahadeva, you can go to YouTube and there are, state honors that have been showered on him, and you can Google on him and read some of the Mahadeva's stories. He's alive. He's in his late 70s. The 3 things that he did every day of his life as the undertaker to the unclaimed dead bodies of Bangalore. 1, Mahadeva can work without supervision. There is nobody to supervise Mahadeva. All the police does is hands over a dead body. All the hospital does is says there is a dead body to be buried. Nobody goes to supervise him. Most of us require supervision. If I need supervision, I'm an amateur. When I can work without supervision, that is the point when I become a true professional. Whatever be my work. Whether I'm a teacher, I'm a pilot, I'm an information technology scientist, I could be anybody, but my work should not require supervision. The second thing is I should be able to certify that my work is complete in all respects. It's a very difficult thing in India. You go to a 5-star hotel, sometimes your parents take you there. You see it is so beautifully done up. It's impressive from the front. Go and see behind the kitchen and you will find debris there. Go to the basement and you would find that bricks which were used during construction have not been taken. Or empty gunny bags may be lying there. When do we know that something we have undertaken is complete in all respects? Most people do not know. A musician knows, a painter knows, an athlete knows. Because these people, when they finish a painting, they know exactly how much red is right, how much yellow is right, whether the last stroke has been given to the painting. So an artist, a sculptor, an athlete knows to self-certify that my work is complete in all respects. Mahadeva is able to certify completion of his work because at 2 o'clock in the night, when he is given a dead body, nobody is there to find out whether it was 6 feet down under or 5 feet down under. Only he knows. Between Mahadeva and his God, there is neither the living nor the dead to certify completion of his work. The third thing which has made Mahadeva really a great individual, and all of us admire him and respect him, is because Mahadeva has what many better known people in the country do not have: integrity. If a job is given to Mahadeva, it is handled with integrity. Now, what is integrity? Integrity means just 4 things, and I'm coming to the close of my talk with those thoughts which Mahadeva knows. Integrity means that I follow the rules where rules exist. I follow the rules if rules exist. But life, you will find as you grow up, is bigger than the law and bigger than rules. For everything in life, there cannot be a rule. So where rules don't exist, I have to use fair judgment. Because what you are factory fitted with, what you have been dispatched from heaven to this world with, is fairness. Everybody is capable of fairness. We may be literate, illiterate, we may be rich, may be poor, we may be in one part of the world or another part of the world, but anyone, even a child who is 5 years old, has a sense of fairness. So we have fairness. So where rules don't exist, I need to ask myself, is this fair? What I am thinking, what I am going to do, what my actions entail, is it fair? And then you'll get the answer. So number 1, follow the rules where rules exist. Number 2, use fair judgment when rules don't exist. Number 3, when in doubt, seek help. Don't do something and then find out whether you did the right thing or not. All you have to do is talk to a friend. Don't have to go and seek counsel from the director of the institution or your parents. Speak to somebody. Don't just do it. And say, hey, I'm planning to do this. Do you think it's a good idea? Next summer, I'm planning to run away from home. Do you think it's a good idea? Chances are you will get good counsel. So speak to somebody you trust and respect, and speak to somebody whose voice is not your voice. So when in doubt, ask somebody, talk to somebody. Last but not the least, our private acts should be able to stand public scrutiny. What I do in private, if is found out in public, it should not cause me a sense of shame. Because as human beings, all we have is shame. If I dump my shame, it does not matter how many times I go to jail and for what I go to jail. It may be 2G scam, 3G scam. I'll just wait for the 5G to come so that I can have one more scam. Okay. And I will wear my visit to Tihar jail as a badge of honor. Okay. So, sense of shame is very important. As long as what I do in private can stand up to public scrutiny, I have nothing to fear. So Mahadeva, the hero of this story, as a professional, is a man who continues to live among ourselves, our lives, enriches us by first and foremost being an individual who can work by himself, certify completion of his own work, and a man with the highest standard of integrity. I chose to give you the story of Mahadeva because you will learn only so much in school. You will learn only so much from your friends because your friends more often than not will be very similar to you. Life's true learning will always be from what I call unusual sources. We need to open our minds to unusual sources so that we are equipped and ready to take on the challenges of tomorrow. With that, thank you very much for being here in Bhubaneswar. Thank you very much for making Sai your home, and thank you. And thank you for having me with you today.